Thursday, March 2nd edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Meteorologist Matthew East here along with you. We're going to recap our now departed storm system, take a look at what's ahead over the next few days and into next week as well. In today's edition of the video, 5 o'clock hour look from Greensboro. Much cooler, drier air pulling on in. Quiet out there early this morning. Same story in Charlotte. There's a look at the Dow YMCA camera looking toward uptown. Temperature in Charlotte down to 47. Northwest winds a little bit gusty this morning, and it will be a little bit of a breezy day with winds out of the northwest as we have this cooler air working into the region. Highs yesterday underachieved a little bit around the I-85 corridor. Clouds pretty extensive and held temperatures down several degrees below what I was expecting, but certainly still a very warm day all around the region. 70s across the entire Triad viewing area, 70s in most of the Charlotte area, even up to 80 in Rockingham and over towards Southern Pines yesterday. So cool air definitely moving on in. Kind of an interesting contrast with dew points this morning. You have 20s for dew points at 5 a.m. around the I-85 corridor and still 60s for dew points over closer to the coast. And that's that drier air punching in. There's your cooler air off to the northwest, even chillier into the northern plains, the Rockies, and that's a reinforcing shot of chillier air that gets here in time for tomorrow into Saturday. The radar yesterday afternoon and evening shows you that pretty potent line of thunderstorms that ripped through the area. Had a lot of issues with wind damage and some hail associated with that line. I'll show you that in just a second. What's left of that line early this morning offshore and now heading further out to sea, and things are very quiet upstream. So a couple of relatively quiet, much cooler weather days ahead. All right, look at all the storm reports across the eastern part of the country. It was an extremely active weather day yesterday, and here in the Carolinas, as we got into late afternoon and the evening, things got very, very active overall. Had a number of issues with wind damage and some hail. Hail pretty commonly in the 1 to 1.5 inch diameter territory, and again, some issues with wind as well. Barn collapse around Steel Creek there, southwest side of Charlotte. I'll show you a couple of the Triad area reports here. Had a 67 mile per hour wind gust in western Davie County. And again, there's some of those hail reports of around an inch or so. Also a pretty good rain event. A lot of us with a really good soaking as this line of storms worked its way through the region. These are the numbers recorded at the observing sites around the Triad viewing area yesterday, and similar numbers around the Charlotte viewing area. So most of us had a pretty good soaking yesterday. But now high pressure building in, a cooler, drier weather setup. Winds will be a little bit gusty at times today as this cooler air arrives. There's our Thursday highs. And then that reinforcing shot of chillier air begins to settle in tomorrow. Again, it'll be a little bit breezy tomorrow as that next shot of chillier air arrives. There's our highs coming up on Friday afternoon tomorrow. Chilly, and then check this out as we get into Saturday. It will be a pretty cold start to the weekend. I think our low Saturday morning, there they are. Going to be pretty cold, and then high Saturday afternoon definitely on the chilly side, a little bit milder than by the time Sunday rolls around. All right, some of the more detailed modeling here. This is the 500 millibar chart right here. Let's see, from the European model, there's today's trough working through. Here comes the next trough that gets here around Tuesday or so of next week. I'll show you that in just a second. Notice the timing here. This is Tuesday on the European. On the GFS computer model, it is this is Wednesday. It's almost a whole day slower and sharper with that trough. So some differences there. I don't know why everything's off to the side, but just give me a minute and I'll resize everything here. But here we go. This is today on the GFS. Cool, quiet conditions. There is your Friday map, that reinforcing shot of chillier air arriving. Saturday, pretty chilly and sunny, but quiet. Sunday, we begin to warm things up a little bit, but still on the cool side, and certainly pronounced warming then as we get into Monday. And then here come the timing differences. Again, on the European model, that next system arrives Tuesday. It's still well west of us on Tuesday on the GFS before it finally gets here on Wednesday. There's the Wednesday afternoon map on the GFS. And the Canadian model is similar with its timing to the GFS, with the European rather. So I've gone with the idea of a Tuesday night rain chance. But just keep in the back of your mind there that the GFS is a little slower, and so we might have to continue to refine that forecast for that frontal passage next week as we move forward in time. All right, that is it for the latest edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day and God bless.